Hi, Alana Ray. Hey, Bailey. Hi, Nan and Sue. It's so nice to see you all. And though we had hoped to be having a Sukkot party, a Sukkot Shabbat service in the backyard of the temple tonight, the weather did not cooperate with us, but there is still much joy that we can gather together here on our Zoom screen. And I believe that the Spivak family is doing it for us. Are you guys in your sukkah right now? Zach, you're right in your sukkah. That is awesome. So if everybody can see inside the Spivak's Zoom screen, you will get a little taste of Sukkot. That is so nice you guys are out there. Oh, beautiful. Now, you guys having dinner out there too? Nice, Zach. Oh, that's awesome. So we thought we'd begin this service by, even though it's kind of gray and rainy and humid out there, by saying, oh my gosh, what a beautiful day it is when we can gather together, when we can get our Shabbat joy together as we see each other's faces. And a welcome to everybody on Facebook and YouTube and on our temple website. When we can be together connected this way, it is a beautiful day. And especially when we are still in the midst of Sukkot, our season of joy. Let's sing it together, you guys. Ma yafeh hayom, what a beautiful day this Shabbat is. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. And it is a doubly joyful Shabbat for us because we have two B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow. We are so happy that Tegan Moore is here with her mom and her brother. And hopefully we'll be welcoming also the Boverman family when they appear on the screen. Jacob's bar mitzvah is in the morning and Tegan's bat mitzvah is in the afternoon. And we're so happy to celebrate with you guys. And Tegan and family have offered to light the Shabbat candles on our behalf. But if you have your Shabbat candles handy, for anyone out there, get your candles out also. And if you guys want to unmute and light those candles and you can say the blessings, we will be right with you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'al hagner shel Shabbat.
Amen. And Shabbat Shalom. We're going to turn to Kiddush and Motzi now. If you have a glass of grape juice or wine or anything will do, really. And maybe even a piece of challah. And Rabbi Cari is going to lead us.
Rabbi Cari and Didi are excited to be with you to celebrate Shabbat. And Tegan, a major mazel tov to you. We got to put something special in there. So how about you hold your ginger ale? And we Baruch atah Adonai. Whoop. Eloheinu melech haolam. She won't spill. I'm sure you all heard that and know that feeling. All right, that is plenty. Are you going to hold it up? Please join us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Shabbat shalom. You want to sit or me?
Amen.
And we brought a slice of challah to share with you. Yes, you may have some challah. Hold up the slice so everybody can see how beautiful it looks. Now, oh, wait. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. Thanks so much, Dee. There's some beautiful leading of prayers there. And let's sing us into this Shabbat. Lechadodi, come friends. Take that deep breath. It has been a busy week for a lot of us. I know that Tegan, our bat mitzvah person, has been busy preparing and with all of the things. And I'm sure everybody has their list of the things that are weighing on us, the things yet to be done. Because if you're like me, you didn't get everything done this week that you wanted to. But Shabbat says to us, okay, take a little break. Give yourself a break. Remember that what really matters is being with the people you love. It matters that you take time to smile and laugh and eat good food and sing. So let's sing it together. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabla nekavela lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabla nekavela Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom umevorach Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom umevorach. So are you feeling that Shabbos spirit yet? Shabbat says, hey, humans, you are not human doings, you are human beings. So take some time to just be. Take that deep breath. Remember that we are more than what we do. Spend some time with our souls on Shabbat. Let's sing it one more time. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabla nekavela Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom umevorach Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom looking out at the candles. And Bovermans, we want to welcome you to the screen. We have lit our Shabbat candles, but we welcome you to light your own. And I'm looking at the Spivaks and their sukkah with their beautiful candles outside, and the Moors with your beautiful candles glowing, and just at the light that everyone is bringing to the screen, the energy. I know I'm feeling better than I have all day, just knowing that we're all singing together, that we're all taking this time together. So sit back, get a little comfortable wherever you are, maybe on your couch, wherever you are, and we're going to hear a story from Rabbi Cari.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. You can say Shabbat Shalom with me. You want to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone? Guess not. This is a story about one of those rabbis from you got to say it right now if you're going to say it.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
She said it. You got to wave. I saw Tegan's family give you a wave. Yep. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So this is a story that comes from, no, not the story, because it's hard to hear more than one voice at a time. This is a story that comes from one of those long time ago stories, okay? And it's about a rabbi a long time ago in a little village, as a lot of my stories are. But this is one of my favorite stories. And this is about a rabbi in particular who loved, nothing made him happier. And the rabbis a long, long time ago were always him. And we're so glad that rabbis and cantors and all sorts of wonderful things are not always him anymore. But this rabbi was a him. The rabbi loved to start his days the same way every day. He was a person, you could say, about whom he loved ritual. I think Ashlyn and David are listening, and if they could come help me from wherever in the house they are coexisting with me, that would be great. Okay, good. So, what temperature is it in here? Is it 110 degrees? It feels like it's 110 degrees. So, this rabbi, you would say he was a person who loved ritual. He would wake up the same way every day at the same time. He would eat the same food for breakfast, and he would always say, it's the best breakfast. Why would I need any other breakfast? Every day after breakfast, he would head into his study and he would check to make sure that all of his books were lined up just so, and that everything he was going to learn and do today was lined up just so. And then he would give tzedakah every morning. And then he would return to his family and he would kiss them as they headed off to school. And he kissed his kids goodbye in the same order every day. Always the oldest kid first, the next youngest, the next youngest, the next youngest. And his wife would tease him. She would say, couldn't you eat something else for breakfast? There's all sorts of wonderful things. Or maybe just once a week, if you kiss the kids in the opposite order, youngest to oldest goodbye, or even no order whatsoever. But the rabbi always answered, nope, doing it just so matters to me. And the rabbi in particular loved preparing for any holiday. Any holiday was a perfect reason to do things just so. He always liked to do the shopping himself and the cooking himself and prepare the foods himself because he could make it just so. And he would say, the details, they matter to me. On the trip that he was taking this particular week, it was just before Sukkot, the holiday we're celebrating now, was starting. And he was worried as he was walking. Would he be able to get all the items he wanted to build his sukkah just perfectly? Would he find the perfect branches for the roof, branches that were thick enough to shade him and his guests, but not so full that he couldn't see the stars between them the way he was supposed to? How would he convince the man to cut these branches all exactly the same length so that his roof could be perfectly lined up? He was worried, would he find a lulav that was straight and tall, the palm branch that makes up the middle of that lulav, straight and tall and thick, and that made that wonderful slapping noise when he wove it together. And would he be able to find willow and myrtle, perfect shades each and the same height, to create the perfect, just so lulav? Would he find an etrog, bright yellow and perfectly bumpy without a blemish on the skin, that smelled so good that just being near it, your senses awoke to the beauty of the world around you? His eyes were hazy as he imagined all of the details of the sukkah he was going to build and make, and how it would be just so. And he found himself murmuring as he walked to the market, just so, with one of those happy, absent-minded smiles and hums that happen when you're lost in your head and your thoughts and your dreams. He could already hear himself saying the blessing for sitting in the sukkah and waving the lulav. He just knew it would be just perfect. And so he was really lost in his own head when he almost tripped over a person he knew right at the edge of the market. It was Mina, the water carrier. She was one of the poorest people in his community, and she was seated next to the entrance of the market, and she was crying. And crying doesn't even really begin to describe it. She was wailing. And the rabbi felt this impulse within himself to start his just so preparations and his marketing. But he stopped and when he saw Mina, and he said, "Mina, what is wrong?" "Oh, Rabbi," she cried, "I need a new horse to help me deliver my water. It's how I make a living and how I support my family. But my horse is too old and the price for the new one is too high. I don't know what I'm going to do." And Mina, she just dissolved into a puddle of tears. The rabbi felt in his pocket that heavy feeling of the money he was carrying to buy all those perfect items he knew he needed to make his sukkah just so. And he knew right away, he knew deep down what the right thing to do was, that he needed to give all that he was carrying to Mina. But oh, that perfect sukkah that he was imagining, he just was having the hardest time letting go of what his imagination was telling him was supposed to be. Of course, he gave the money to Mina with a smile, because he knew that's what mattered most, even though it felt kind of sad to him. And when he returned home, he was pleasantly surprised to see that his children had gone to extra effort in decorating the booth in the backyard, the sukkah in the backyard, that the streamers were color coordinated just the way the rabbi liked, that the tables and chairs were laid out perfectly, that everything was just so. And that made him almost even sadder because it was so close. But he had to say to his family, "I don't have a lulav, and I don't have an etrog, and I don't have the branches to make the roof of the sukkah kosher." And he knew he had done the right thing, and he knew he needed to support Mina, but still, he just felt a little sad as the holiday began. And when he went to bed that night, the rabbi, he tossed and he turned. He was imagining what might have been. And his wife, who was quite honestly sick of being kicked, tried to reason with him. And she said, "Every morning, first thing, don't you give tzedakah before you study or you learn or even pray? Don't you know that tzedakah is the most important thing in your day?" The rabbi, he knew his wife was right. And he started to feel a little better, but he was still tossing and turning. And finally, his wife couldn't take it anymore. And she said to him, "Get up, we're going. I see that you need to dwell in the sukkah. See that you need to have a lulav and an etrog to bless. And I know that you won't feel better until you do. And I know that that matters. So come with me. Where are we going? Asked the rabbi as he grabbed his robe and threw it over his pajamas and followed his wife down the stairs and out the front door and into the cool and cloudy night. The rabbi's wife marched on into the chilly air, leading him down the road until they came to a small lean-to building, almost a shack, really. No more than a hut for sure. It was tilted and there were holes between the boards and in the roof. And all around the building were water jugs and Mina's cart that she used to deliver water. And the rabbi realized he was standing at the door of the stable, and out of the half barn door stuck the head of Mina's new horse. So the rabbi's wife walked right into that little hut, and she looked up at the stars that were poking through the roof, and she said the blessing. Blessed are you, Adonai, who commands us to dwell in a sukkah. And she picked up some hay and she added some grass and some leaves, and she reached out to this new horse and she said, Blessed are you, Adonai, who commands us to wave the lulav and etrog. And she waved it and handed it to the horse, who gently ate from her hand. The rabbi stared in awe. Wasn't exactly the sukkah he had imagined, and not exactly the lulav and etrog he had pictured. And the wife explained, 1 million people right now are blessing their lulav and their etrog. They are waving them in every direction in an effort to show that God is everywhere. The only reason this horse is standing here in Mina's barn is because you saved for that very lulav and etrog, and then you gave your money as tzedakah. You changed your dreams to make someone else's life better. And if that doesn't show that God is everywhere, I don't really know what does. Just so, it's just so, the rabbi finally thought as he took a deep breath and began to feel better. He peered up through the cracks in the ceiling and said the blessing for dwelling in a sukkah. Just so, thought the rabbi as he gathered hay and branches and grass and waved it in all of the directions and fed it to the horse and said the blessing for waving the lulav. This holiday is in fact just so. I pray for each of you, for all of us as a community, as we celebrate our Sukkot holiday at an indoor Zoom service, that your holidays are in fact, that the moments of your life of joy are in fact just so beautiful as they are meant to be. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, and what a beautiful story. And I see, though our Temple Shir Tikvah sets of lulavim and etrogim are waiting for us in our sagi sukkah, I see that the spivaks look like you're waving some things there, right? So, oh, beautiful, beautiful. Shake it on up. That is wonderful. And let us call each other into this evening service, into the magic of this holiday. We can all just imagine ourselves if we were sitting outside and smelling the air and the end of summer, the beginning of fall smells all around us, and the smell of those Shabbat candles. And we say, let's call on these lights that are within us. Let's take that deep breath and make space for coming home to ourselves, to this community, to our tradition. dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I am home. There's a Mary Oliver poem that talks about becoming part of the family of things, and becoming part of the web of the whole universe, of this whole planet, of this whole country and state and city and town and neighborhood that we live in. And I feel in some ways that that's what the Shema does for me some nights. It says, hey you, listen, Shema Yisrael. Sometimes I feel like I can replace my own name, Shema Beth. You can put your own name there. Listen up. You are part of something so large, and you are woven into all of it, into all of creation. So that lulav and etrog and the candles and the sky and the sun and the moon and the stars and every single person, we are all part of a web. We're all part of this community. So let's say the Shema together. Let's sing it together and listen in for your own name. And if you're feeling a little out of sorts tonight, call yourself in. You are part of this. We're all part of this. Ve'ahavarcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. And we move into our song of freedom. We learn from our ancestors, boy, it can take a long time of wandering around in a tight place to come into a land that is wide and expansive. We say, Micha Mocha, who is like you, God, who got us from that tight space and into this land, into this journey that we're all on. So let's sing out for freedom, for this lesson that our ancestors taught us so many thousands and thousands of years ago. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Oseh Oseh Micha mocha a little time for ourselves, for our own prayers, for our own reflections, for looking at the beautiful slides that Dan Lieber has prepared for us. Time for that deep breath with the Amidah, beginning with those words, especially if you're feeling kind of tight tonight. Oh, open my lips, open my heart, open my mind. Let me make more room for joy. Let me make more room for prayer. Let me make more room for my soul, or for nature, for exercise, for my body, for whatever it is you need. A little more space for. Let's sing it out. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid ilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid ilatecha. Feel free to stand if you'd like, or just stand in spirit, and we'll do the Amidah together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol ata rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim ve'rofer cholim. Umatir asurim umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha ba'al gevurot umidom melach melech mimit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. turn now our prayers, our thoughts to those who are in need of healing in mind or body or spirit. We can say this prayer for our own selves. We can say this prayer for those we are concerned about. And we send that to people we know, and we can also send that to people we don't even know, but we know parts of the world and parts of the country where people are really suffering. And so I invite you in the chat, or just to hold somebody's name in your heart, to put their name in the chat if you'd like, and just send this healing energy to whoever you're concerned about. And as a community, we're praying for Joyce and David Adamson, for the Primmerman family, for David Hale and Tom Alexander, for Charlize Agina, for Joyce Catania, for Susan Zimmerman-Inney and Mark Fleckenstein, for Arlene Norris and Paul Coulard, for Jeff Wisnia and Jonathan Sharon, for Paula Goldstein, Deb Midman, for Neil Daniels Midman and Susan Trendahl, for Alice Klein, Pat Lazar, Amanda Hill, Carrie Labine, Harriet Levy, for Ann Pillow and Judy Donaldson, for Colleen Berry, Michael Slonim, for Alan and Joanne Travis, for Fiona Sutton and Ayana Masla, for Nelson Lovins, Norman and Fran Waxler, Sue Boardman, Angela Panzone, for Linda and Fred Lukasik, for Nancy Alpert and Ed Snow, for Debbie Gilman, Abraham and Co. Lyon, for Patty Shepard and Jennifer Chase, Ellen Lee, Jeff Bray, Vicki Oman, for Ken Blumberg and Jimmy Krasnow. Continued prayers for Ayelet Bat Chava V'her Shmuel, for Claude Lieber, Nancy Lazaro Lieber, for Kathy Nath, for Mason Lee and Ellen Kleinkoff, for Rabbi Naginsky, for Andrew Shapiro, for Deborah Buteau and family, for my dad Al Levin, and for David Price, and for all the names that have been added to our chat, for all the names that I know are in our hearts, for all the people. Let us join our voices together in singing the Misha Berach for the renewal of body, for the renewal of spirit. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, We ask for a refuah shlema, a complete and a speedy recovery to all. So we are officially in fall now. Pretty soon these leaves will be turning. The earth, our New England fall will begin with the reds and the oranges and the yellows all around us. And we sing to the earth, blessing to this hurting earth of ours. Hand motions are most welcome and encouraged on this Shabbat of Sukkot, 5782. Love the earth, love the sky, heat of fire, drop of water. I can feel it in my body, in my spirit, in my soul. Love the earth, love the sky, heat of fire, drops of water. I can feel it in my body, in my spirit, in my soul. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, 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 hey. All right, in Hebrew this time. Adama v'shamayim, chom ha'esh, tzlil ha'mayim, ani margisot v'gufi, beruchi v'nishmati. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, hey, all right, one last time. Love the earth, love the sky, heat of fire, drop of water. I can feel it in my body, in my spirit, in my soul. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, 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 oh. Hey,
There is some incredible ruach, incredible energy and spirit from Sandy, from everybody on the screen, dancing and adding their joy and letting us be a part of each other's joy. It's an incredible thing to be in a community in moments of joy and in moments of memory, where you are allowed to name and remember, talk about the people who have affected you, who enabled you to reach this moment, the people who live on in your hearts and in your memories, whose actions are part of your legacy. If there is somebody you are remembering this week, somebody whose spirit you feel in your heart, somebody whose name you would like to share with our community, I invite you to either say their name out loud in the sanctuary you find yourself praying in tonight, or using the chat function of the technology you're using to join us. This week, we are remembering Dean Pappas, Sarah Epstein's friend, standing in acknowledgement of the yard site of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Brockman, Arev's father's 45th yard site, of Benjamin Amsterdam, Dr. Arnold Ruxin, and Danny Savitsky. And we are in the year of memory for Shirley Siegel. This is the last Shabbat in her first year since her loss, the beloved aunt of Judy Lipperman, of Jack Langerman, Gladys Schuker, and Roberta Lipperman. We also stand in acknowledgement of Aviva Goldenberg, whose death we just learned of as a community this morning. For all those we named, for all who are an eternal blessing to those who they loved. We become one community of memory with the words of mourners Kaddish, weaving our voices together in a community of memory, of support, and of love. I invite you to stand in body or in spirit. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirute, be'amlich malchute, B'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye dachol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivorach Leolam U'almei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Dekudasha Brichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru. Amen. May we feel the shelter and presence, the loving legacy of those who shaped our lives, sheltering us in this Sukkah holiday. May there be peace for all.
So we would like to offer just a huge mazel tov to Jacob Boverman and his family, and to Tegan Moore and the whole Moore family. We can't wait to celebrate with you tomorrow. And at 7:30, we will be holding a Yizkor service right here in this same Zoom room on the same link. So, 4 times a year we do this. We just did it on Yom Kippur, had Yizkor, and then on the Shalosh Regalim, the 3 festivals on Sukkot and Pesach and Shavuot. So if you're able to join us at 7:30, that would be wonderful. But we thought we'd end this service. I don't know if Bez is still there, Tegan's younger brother. There you are, Bez. And Mayim, Jacob's younger sibling. It is not always easy to be the younger sibling of someone who is becoming a B'nai Mitzvah because they get a lot of attention. A lot goes on. And Bez, I happen to know this is one of your favorite songs, so this is going out to you, and I'm going to be listening for you across the screen. And on the Sukkot, as we're seeing the Spivaks outside in their sukkah, and we can look out, and the sky is such an interesting color right now. And we're getting ready for Simchat Torah. So let's sing to this tree of life, this Torah that keeps us together, that keeps us one community. You ready, everyone? It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. All right, shalom. Shalom to you all. Before we end this live stream, just to say, if you're wondering what we're doing for Simchat Torah, please join us on Monday night at 7 p.m. for a special watch party. The URJ, the Union of Reform Judaism, has put together about a 30-minute video of songs and storytelling and Torah readings, and they have made it available to every congregation, to every Reform congregation across the country. And we're going to join in on that watch party on our own, a Shir Tikvah special watch party. So please join us Monday night at 7 for Simchat Torah. And Shabbat Shalom to you all, and a Mazel Tov to the